Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Friday, November 18th, 2016. The big news story today, Donald Trump has made 3 more appointments to his cabinet. We're going to get to that. Show you how this is an ongoing puppet show by the numbers. First, what I want to show you is something I overlooked until today, thanks to a fellow truth seeker. They tipped me off to this. We talked about what was significant about Donald Trump being announced as the 45th president on November 9th, the 27-year anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Again, Berlin Wall in gematria sums to 45. Donald Trump, the 45th president, announced on the anniversary of the fall of the wall. And with regards to the date November 9th, written 11/9, remember the name Donald in Jewish gematria sums to 119. There's the mattress commercial from 2010 where he's wearing the exact same outfit he wore election night. In that commercial, he's talking to sheep. It's about mattress, sleeping, counting sheep. He's talking to sheep, talking about being born for the job. And in the background of that commercial, there's 2 sheep with numbers on them, 11 and 9, 119, just like the date he was announced president. Well, this is from November 9th, 2016. It was 2:48 a.m. in the morning where Trump addressed his supporters, letting them know he had officially won. 2:48 a.m., not a coincidence. 9 minutes before that, 2:39, that's when AP reported that Hillary Clinton had conceded. 2:28, that's when the state of Wisconsin was declared in favor of Trump. Let's go through all of these times. Let's start with 2:48 when Donald Trump addressed his supporters. President Donald Trump in gematria sums to 248, plus 2:48 in the morning, that's the 168th minute of the day, 60 minutes in an hour, so 60 plus 60 is 120, plus 48 more, 168. The 168th minute of the day, New York City sums to 168. Again, this was the first presidential election since 1944 where both candidates were close to each other in New York City, both Hillary and Donald Trump in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. With regards to AP reporting at 2:39, Hillary's concession, remember, your media is controlled by Zionist Jews, Freemasons. They practice gematria, they practice Kabbalah, this language of numbers into words, the significance of numbers, very important to these people. They do everything by the numbers. Torah in Jewish gematria sums to 239. That's the Jewish holy book. In their belief system, it says the Messiah will come through the Golden Gate. Golden Gate 239. Last year, more than a year ago, previously, top secret information was released to the public from the military about 239 biological weapons tests conducted against the U.S. people in small doses over several decades. And the first of those 239 tests conducted was in San Francisco. The test was created by a Navy vessel out by the Golden Gate Bridge, which in the fog of San Francisco sprayed in a chemical contaminant in a low dosage. Truly a chemical weapons test on our own nation by our own government. All disclosed last summer. 239. Also, earlier this year, I pointed out the U.S. flag was sewn in Philadelphia at 239 Arch Street. That was the date 1777, or in the year 1777 on the date June 14th, meaning this year on June 14th, the flag turned 239 years old, sewn in Philadelphia at 239 Arch Street. Hillary had her Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia. Donald Trump, his birthday is Flag Day, June 14th. The first day of Hillary's convention, she got mainstream flack for there being no U.S. flag on the stage in Philadelphia. That was July 25th. So 239, that's what time Hillary concedes, connected to Philadelphia, the history of the flag, Donald Trump born on Flag Day. That's also the date the U.S. Army was established, June 14th. Donald Trump's birthday, the flag's birthday. We'll talk about the Pope. Last year he visited on September 23rd with the president by the numbers. Very special meeting, 239. Talk about the Pope by the numbers in just a moment. With regards to Wisconsin being called at 228, United States of America equals 228. So does death in English gematria. This is a nation that was born out of a genocide that has been at war ever since, has much to do with death. The official date of the election was November 8th, 118. Lincoln, first presidential assassination after being reelected on November 8th. They said Wisconsin was the state that was called at 228 that decided it. Wisconsin, one of two states with a gematria 44. The other is Georgia. Donald Trump will be the 45th president. Again, Berlin Wall 45 anniversary. But he'll also be the 44th man to be president, just like how Obama's the 44th president, but the 43rd man. And all throughout history, 44 connected to killing, death, assassination. And what's also comical is how, these elections, they're all scripted, they're all predetermined, they're planned out long in advance, the news coverage, the whole thing, it's a show deceiving the people. And look at how they do the news coverage. Did you pay attention the night of the election? They had almost all of California reported before they could figure out what the count was in Minnesota or Wisconsin, which votes hours ahead of California and has a small fraction of the population combined. They had California all counted by 8 p.m. West Coast time. Do the math on that. How much bigger is the population of California than Wisconsin and Minnesota? They had that whole state pretty much counted before they could figure out what was going on in Wisconsin and Minnesota. You believe that? This is all of mocking of you. They just make it exciting with the numbers updating. It's just like a sports game. It's rigged, it's scripted, it's predetermined. You're watching actors who are paid millions of dollars sell you out. Same thing going on in the political arena. Same gang controlling it all. Freemasons, Zionist Jews. When the Pope arrived in the United States, he arrived on September 22nd, and when he first got off the plane, the national news coverage, it was 4:04 p.m. We'd been talking for months about 4:04 with Pope Francis. Think about 4:04 when that shows up on your computer screen when there's an error. Pope Francis coming off the plane at 4:04. And what's the connection between the Pope and Donald Trump? They're both Jesuits. Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope, the word Jesuit equals 84. United States of America in Pythagorean gematria equals 84. Just like the word states in simple English gematria equals 84. Pope Francis has 84 birth numerology. The word Jesuit has 84 gematria. Donald Trump in gematria sums to 48, the reflection of 84. He began his presidential campaign in the 48th state, Arizona, one of two states with the gematria of 84. Anyway, Pope Francis a Jesuit, Donald Trump a Jesuit, Jesuits under this Masonic umbrella that do things by the numbers. The very next day, September 23rd, Pope Francis would take the White House lawn at 9:23 p.m. on 9/23, September 23rd. That was the 266th day of the year. Pope Francis is the 266th Pope. The number 239 is also the 52nd prime number. The word Pope in gematria equals 52. It's been 52 years since Donald Trump started his Jesuit education at Fordham University. That was 1964. 2016, made president, 52 years later. So today, November 18th, the news, 3 new appointments. Mike Pompeo, Jeff Sessions, and Michael Flynn, who are all Washington insiders. Just without even getting into the numbers, Donald Trump has been campaigning about how Hillary Clinton has poor judgment because she supported the Iraq War. So who's he go out and get for his attorney general? He gets Jeff Sessions, who is one of the biggest Iraq War advocates, one of the biggest Iraq War mouthpieces. Hillary Clinton on that campaign trail had poor judgment because she supported the Iraq War, which is something I agree with. The Iraq War, it's all part of the agenda. It was all bogus propaganda that started a needless war. Had I been not as sharp as I was as a teenager, I would have been over there in Iraq and Afghanistan. But I knew I lived in a war empire. I would never serve in our military. Anyway, Trump's right turn. Today he picks One of the biggest advocates for the Iraq War, which he's been so critical of on the campaign trail. You know, these politicians, all you have to do is pay attention to who they appoint. 8 years ago, I was telling all the Obama supporters, I said, look, he's taking all the people from past administrations, from Bush to Clinton to Reagan. You know, all the same people that have been in Washington, D.C., that's who the Obama administration was. There was nothing different. All they do is give people different rhetoric to make them think something's different, something different's coming, and then more of the same. 4 years later, people forget, and they go back and fall in the same traps. So what else we're going to talk about is how all of these men are born in December, the month of Saturnalia. We're talking about Saturn, the keeper of time. If you've missed my recent work, I've shown how Donald Trump's entire campaign centered around the numbers of Saturn. We'll look at his appointment from November 13th as well. Another Saturn candidate. But all three of these men born in December, the month of Saturnalia. We'll talk about December, Santa, Satan. Donald Trump taps hardliners for national security team. So today's November 18th, 2016. It's a leap year. Typically, today's the 322nd day of the year, 322, the number of Yale's Skull and Bones. Today's also the day that leaves 43 days left in the year. Yale equals 43, just like New Haven CT, the mailing address for New Haven, where Yale is, where Skull and Bones is. Skull and Bones identifies by 322. Today, typically the 322nd day, leaving 43 days left in the year. Yale 43. And let's not forget that George W. Bush, member of Skull and Bones, was the 43rd president. His brother Jeb Bush was the 43rd governor of Florida. The Bushes are from New Haven, Connecticut. Bush and his father, who were presidents, went to Yale. His father was the 43rd vice president, and the 41st president, Skull and Bones, equals 41. See how that works? Just like how USA equals 41. 41's the 13th prime number. USA, 41, began with 13 colonies, 13 stripes on the flag. Anyway, today's date has 65 numerology. Fordham, the Jesuit university where Trump went, began attending in 64. Has gematria of 65. So does Knights Templar, the Masonic order. Today has 45 numerology. Trump, the 45th president. The sum of the magic square of Saturn is 45. We're going to talk about how all three of these men, born in December, again this month of Saturnalia. Today's date has 29 numerology. The word senator equals 29. The name Sessions equals 29. The senator from Alabama who's going to make his attorney general. 29 is also the first number to have 11 numerology after 11. 2 plus 9 is 11. If you watch the mainstream coverage, they're talking about how his appointments, you know, they're causing a divide, a rift within the Republican Party. They're talking about how Michael Flynn's a former Democrat like him. Anyway, they're using the phrase Civil War. Civil War equals 43, just like Charleston. The Civil War began in Charleston. Again, today leaves 43 days left in the year. The agenda is divide and conquer, order out of chaos, the Masonic mottos. And oh, by the way, Jesuit equals 84, United States of America equals 84, divide and conquer equals 84, order out of chaos, 84. And in Jewish gematria, order out of chaos equals 777. Trump will be 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days old, Inauguration Day. Jeff Sessions in gematria sums to 47. You know he's going to be the right-hand man for the president. Special number in law, judge equals 47, gavel equals 47, obey 47, authority 47. Of course, the word president equals 47. The night of the election, Donald Trump was in the Midtown Hilton Hotel that is 47 floors tall. Jeff Sessions, 47, agent 47, authority 47, framework 47, foundation 47. The Freemasons have Euclid's 47th problem, which is about how to establish a foundation for a building. The word foundation's 47. No doubt who created our language. Gematria, a Jewish practice, an ancient practice. Remember, the word Jewish equals 74, like Masonic, like English, like Gematria, like holiday, like Independence Day, like alphabetic order. 7-4. What's our nation's birthday? July 4th. 7 is the fourth prime number. The numbers have a number relationship. If you're not aware, the Republican Party came out of the Whig Party. Lincoln, the last Whig, created the Republicans, first president to be assassinated. The majority of presidents have been Republican/Whig. Whig and Republican both equal 47, just like president. You know? No coincidence. The name Jeff Sessions, if you do the S exceptions, there are 4 S's in his name. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for each S, you can add 9 more. So 4 times 9 is 36. 47, remember Jeff Sessions 47, plus 36 is 83. National Security Team 83, that's what he's part of today. The announcement of these 3 men who will be the National Security Team. 83, like the Donald, like leap year, like election. If you missed my video on predictive programming over the years and sitcoms for Donald Trump as the president, go watch my one on Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Carlton passes out as he says, "The Donald." Carlton just turned 45 before the election. Donald Trump made the 45th president. So many TV shows had little predictive programming episodes that came out on the perfect dates for Donald Trump to be announced as the 45th president, to join with the 115th Congress after being elected in the 58th presidential election. If you missed that video, the predictive programming, down below. From commercials to TV shows, we were told about Donald Trump as the president to be. Sessions in simple English gematria also sums to 119, like Donald, who was announced as president on November 9th. His birth name is Jefferson Beauregard. Reminds me of bureaucracy. Sessions III. Born in the year 46, like Trump, the word chaos, 46. Order out of chaos. He became a senator in 96, the Freemason number. Washington Insider. Notice the name he goes by, Jeff Sessions, in simple English gematria is 146, just like his full name in Pythagorean gematria. Those numbers, they remind me of the United Kingdom. Remember Donald Trump been getting those tributes from the Queen at the GOP convention, which began July 18th. He came out to the song Queen, We Are the Champions. We Are the Champions equals 84, like United States of America, like Jesuit. He did that 88 days after the Queen's birthday. The Queen's name is Elizabeth. Elizabeth equals 88. Trump equals 88. Purple equals 88. Purple family. Royal family. Purple reign. Purple, the color of royalty. 88 days after the Queen's birthday, Donald Trump comes out to Queen. Of course, the Queen turned 90 on the day Prince died by the numbers. If you missed my work on Prince, I predicted his death in February after the death of his girlfriend Vanity, who died just before the 58th Grammys. Later this same year, the 58th presidential election. Vanity died on the 46th day of the year. Vanity equals 46, like sacrifice. Anyway, this guy's first name, Jefferson. Jefferson, name with 44 gematria. Trump going to be the 44th man to be president. Date he was born in history, December 24th, born on Christmas Eve. His man to head the CIA is Mike Pompeo, a congressman from Kansas. Sessions is from Alabama. Mike Pompeo is from Kansas. First state, or the last state added before the Civil War, the 34th state. Mike Pompeo in gematria sums to 55 and 118, and as soon as I saw that, it reminded me of the election. November 8th, 2016 was a date with 55 numerology this year. Number of Satan. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton were in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood, the lesser of two evils. All of these men that we're talking about, Sessions, Pompeo, and Flynn, are all born in December. December has gematria 55, just like Satan, just like Santa, which is a reshuffling of the letters of Satan. You know, supposedly the month we celebrate Jesus' birthday by indulging in materialism and celebrating a birthday, which is something you're actually not supposed to do in the Bible. Show you a little link here with Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. In Revelation, the final book of the Bible, where the trumpets are the warning, the trumpets ticket, Holy Bible equals 45. There's 7 trumpets played that are warnings. Donald Trump, the 777 candidate, trumpets. Anyway, in Revelation, the numbers 144 and 666 are talked about. These numbers have a mathematical relationship. If you add the first 144 decimal points of pi, they sum to 666. Special number pairing right there. Mark of the beast equals 144. Mark of the beast often referred to for the number 666. Santa, Satan, you know. So here's Mike Pompeo, born Michael Richard Pompeo. I notice he has name gematria of 111. New York equals 111. September 11th, the day that leaves 111 days left in the year. Big New York election. He's born December 30th, 1963. His initials, MP, have gematria of 29, like Kansas. Again, this comes on a date with 29 numerology. We were talking about that connection to Senator and Sessions. Mike Pompeo, he's going to be heading the CIA. And here's what it makes me think of. December 22nd, 1963, just after his birth, he was born, or 8 days before he was born, December 22nd, 1963, Truman, the 33rd president, who created the CIA, the NSA, these things that spy on us, these things that are used to deceive us as a nation, he wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post, Truman, and he said the CIA needed to be gutted, it needed to be defunded, it needed to be reduced to an information collecting agency with no other functions. Just to collect information. He said that's all you want from the CIA. You don't want to let them do anything else. That op-ed came out a month after the assassination of JFK. You know, you can still go read it. What Truman wrote December 22nd about the CIA needed to be gutted. It was a threat to the U.S. people. So anyway, now they're making this guy the head of the CIA. I've been talking about all the parallels between JFK, the last president to be assassinated, the Berlin Wall, and Donald Trump. Several videos on it now. Here we get this man born around that time in 63. Remember, when you count every number up to 63, it sums to 2016. He's 52 years old at the time of the appointment. 52's number of prophecy. It's been 52 years again since Trump graduated from Fordham. We're talking about 52 with the Pope. The date JFK was killed was also a date with a life lesson number of 52. Number of prophecy important to this Freemason gang. This guy's part of the Tea Party. Tea Party has that gematria of 106 like prophecy too. Go back and watch CNN and the mainstream's coverage of when Dylan Stormroof supposedly shot up the church in Charleston, a tribute to the Civil War, staged propaganda meant to divide. They had a fire truck pull up that was number 106. You can go back and watch the news footage to this day, and it was flying a Tea Party flag. Fire truck 106, Tea Party 106. In the history of this nation, there was the Black Church bombing. Can't say what year that was for sure off the top of my head, but it was a date with 106 numerology as well. We're living a planned out agenda by the numbers is the point. People who are appointed to these positions, from head of CIA to attorney general to, the rest of it, a lot of these people are born to be, bred to be, agents destined to sell us out. He's born on that date, December 30th, the only day and month combo that yields 42, number of the Freemasons. Freemason 42, the small way, 96, the big way. Numbers with mathematical relationships. When you add all the numbers that divide into 42, they sum to 96. So here's the other guy, another Michael. Michael Flynn, born December 58. We don't have his specific date of birth, but we know he's born in December. In 58, Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58. This was the 58th presidential election. November 9th, Lady Gaga was protesting outside the 58-story Trump Tower. Lady Gaga, 58. Set to take office January 20th, 2017. Date with 58 numerology as well as 38. We'll talk about why 38 is relevant. The name Mike has gematria of 38. DC on the 38th parallel north, the 77th meridian. Remember, Jew equals 38, Judaism 77, power equals 77 on September 11th. Flight 77 hit the 77-foot tall Pentagon. That's exactly how tall it is. Look it up. 77 feet tall on the 77th meridian, hit by Flight 77, exactly 77 minutes after it took off. So we're told, according to the 9/11 Commission report. Of course, as we know, no plane hit the Pentagon on 9/11. It's all part of a lie by the numbers. Date numerology of Inauguration Day. Oh, yes. And by the way, you might have caught this morning. Mike Flynn, when talking about Donald Trump, he said this is the most important leader elected by this country since George Washington, which made me laugh. I've been talking about the ongoing coding between George Washington and Donald Trump all year. In case you haven't been following, Trump equals 88, like George Washington, the first recognized president, the 33rd degree Master Mason, who in Washington, D.C. has a plaque that says Freemason and President. Pay attention to what comes first. Freemason. Freemason equals 42. George Washington has the 42nd state, Washington, named after him. Died in history on December 14th. Also died in December on a date with 142 numerology. When you write out 42 as a word, it sums to 142. Donald Trump, his convention this morning, his convention this past summer began July 18th in Cleveland. July 18th can be written 18/7. Notice George Washington equals 187. And from July 18th to January 20th is 187 days. And remember, the last Republican president was George W. Bush, George Washington. What day is George W. Bush's birthday? His birthday is July 6th, which is the 187th day of the year. 187, George W. Bush. George W. Bush equals 58, by the way, Freemasonry. The next Republican president selected in the 58th presidential election. George W. Bush also born in 46. Chaos, 46. Think about 9/11, the order out of chaos, the wars, the domestic surveillance, the greater building of the spy state, which Donald Trump is showing he's going to continue right along with by appointing these hardline right-wingers who love the wars, who love the spy acts, who hate freedom, who love fear. George Washington. University of Washington Huskies, the school named after, or the school named in Washington that wears purple. February 22nd, University of Washington Huskies equals 222, 222. Think about their purple colors, purple 88, George Washington 88, Trump 88. Maryland equals 88, up by where D.C. is. The football team there wears purple. Of course, November 10th, Trump's first day in the White House, the same day the Cleveland Cavaliers were congratulated at the White House, the same day the Cleveland Browns played on Thursday Night Football at the Baltimore Ravens just up the street from the White House. Of course, the Ravens came from Cleveland. That's where they got their football team. The Cleveland Browns became the Ravens once. We're living out a script, people. It's undeniable. Undeniable. The sports, the news, the elections, this is all a rigged show. So here's Saturnalia, which goes December 17th to the 23rd. You know, Saturnalia, Saturn worship. Saturn in Jewish gematria equals 511. Donald Trump's campaign began June 16th, 2015. From that day to Election Day was 511 days. Saturn, 511 in Jewish gematria. That's also the way you write the date for November 5th, 5/11. Remember the 5th of November. Donald Trump had the assassination scare on him supposedly there. It was a date with 52 numerology. Reno equals 52. Of course, that date can also be written 11/5. Trump becoming president with the 115th Congress, the reflection of 511. But anyway, here's the Army's birthday, June 14th, 1775. The flag's birthday, June 14th, 1777. 777, Donald Trump's 70 years, 7 months, 7 days on Inauguration Day. Trump's birthday, June 14th, 46. Real quick, in case you missed this post from the past, Donald Trump got offered a Purple Heart from one of his supporters. This happened in Ashburn, Virginia on August 2nd, right? Soldier equals 82, Ashburn, Virginia 82, the Purple Heart, Purple 88. George Washington created the award in the year 1782. The word soldier equals 82, you know? Soldier 82. Donald Trump gets a Purple Heart in Ashburn, Virginia, not far from the nation's capital. I pointed out then this was another tribute to Donald Trump and the ongoing George Washington parallels. Even then, though, I really didn't think they'd put him in. I thought it was too ridiculous. Saw the possibility was there, but I thought Donald Trump as the president, just too ridiculous. I forgot where I lived momentarily because this is the nation of ridiculous and absurd. And that's what we're tormented with every day, by the numbers. In case you missed my video on his first appointment here, for his chief of staff, he went with Mr. Priebus. Notice the headline then, Trump chooses top advisors, 104. Chief of staff equals 104. Remember the date of establishment for this nation, the time of George Washington. Date of independence, date with 104 numerology, July 4th, 1776. The word Jerusalem equals 104, has a USA right in the middle. Right now, the United States of America is really giving the Zionist nation of Israel 104 million per day. That's the same as 38 billion per year. 38 billion. Jew 38, DC on the 38th parallel. Donald Trump, the 44th man to be president. His first appointment was a 44-year-old. 44-year-old. His full name in gematria, this man, sums to the same thing as Washington, D.C. 137, which is the 33rd prime number. Federal 33. Order 33, secrecy 33, masonry 33. The name he goes by in simple English gematria, Reince Priebus, gematria of 144. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. He's 44 years old. Important numbers all throughout history. 144 represents time. Wisconsin, he's from. He went to school in Wisconsin, the deciding state in the election where we began, where it was called at 228. This guy, Reince Priebus, his date of birth is also a date with 93 numerology, number for Saturn, keeper of time. Remember, in our science books, which are also full of lies by the numbers, they tell us the sun is 93 million miles away. The sun's the real keeper of time. Saturn 93. You get it? Do you get the mocking? This appointment came with 48 days left in the year. Donald Trump, 48. It was a date with a life lesson number of 33, federal, order, secrecy, masonry, all 33, 137, the 33rd prime. This man's full name in Pythagorean gematria, Reinhold Richard Priebus, 137. Headline this morning that made me laugh. CNN said it came down to 2 words for Donald Trump to become president, and those 2 words were common sense. That's why the American people elected him, because they think he has common sense. You know, this is what it is to live in the U.S. You know, just constantly changing narratives back and forth. There is nothing common sense about Donald Trump. He is a hot air balloon, an empty salesman, someone that yaks on about nothing, cannot answer a question directly, doesn't follow through with anything he says, a complete fraud of a man, a complete pig of a man. If you missed my video on the predictive programming for Trump, which is down below in the description, see his cameo on Dennis Leary's show from 2001, playing the pig that he is. Predictive programming for his presidency as well, which is sick. Here was another story today that made me laugh. Ha ha, guys, this bird looks like Donald Trump. And also from last week, I have on my blog a headline from CNN, is bombing the shit out of someone a real policy? You know, we're just seeing all of these ridiculous headlines right now. You know, headlines like you've never seen before. Because we are living in the most absurd moment, and with each passing day, it becomes more and more absurd. But just look at this. Ha ha, guys, this bird looks like Donald Trump. I mean, this is CNN. CNN also published an article today about how most internet sources should not be taken seriously. Most internet sources are not credible. Well, the mainstream media is what is not credible, you know. Read my blog, read that post from CNN, but look at this. Ha ha, guys, this bird looks like Donald Trump. Oh my goodness. Bird in gematria sums to 33. Just want to point that out. You know, we have a bird for our national symbol. I've never seen a bird that looks like this before. I mean, its hair. If this is even a real bird, if they didn't make up this news story, that bird it really does have the Donald Trump haircut. A curious creature with audacious golden plumage has fascinated the world. We all watch intently as he struts about, soaking in the attention he knows he commands. An enigma is he. What secret intent lies behind those sharp blue eyes? Anyway, enough about Donald Trump. Check out this crazy bird. You know? It's just so ridiculous. I mean, it's so ridiculous, Truth Seeker. They created this absurd creature, Donald Trump, for us. That's what's so sad. For so many years, it was foreshadowed that this would happen to us. It was last night that Flynn made the first announcement. It was November 17th, date with 44 numerology. Also the day leaving 44 days left in the year. Military 44, officer 44, trooper 44, kill 44, NATO established on 4-4. Yesterday, Barack Obama was in Berlin talking about Donald Trump, the wall, being in NATO on the day that leaves 44 days left in the year. Again, NATO established 4-4, military 44. Donald Trump, the Berlin Wall. Obama speaking about Trump, the most he has since he was announced as the president in Berlin. You know, I've been talking about Donald Trump and the Berlin Wall for more than a year. I saw this as a potential riddle. I didn't think they would do it, but here it is. So there's the update, Truth Seeker. You know, the entire Donald Trump thing, it's by the numbers. If you missed all my work on the wall, the predictive programming, you got to check out those videos. I promise you they're way more entertaining and better than this one. But I hope this one was good enough and you enjoyed it. Until next time, Truth